You know, if I had a nickel for every time James McAvoy has played somebody with multiple personalities and acting all crazy and weird, I have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird it's happened twice, though. Greetings, my fancy viewers. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing Speak No Evil, directed by James Watkins and starring James McAvoy. Now, I'm just going to go out and say that I think that this will be one of the most divisive films this year. Some are going to absolutely love it, and some are absolutely going to despise this movie. Me personally, I'm somewhere in the middle. The film is about this couple, played by Scoot McNairy and Mackenzie Davis, and they're invited by this other couple that they meet in Italy, played by James McAvoy and Aisling Franciosi, to go on this nice luxury vacation at their nice little hometown farm area. And at first, it seems like a paradise. The farm is beautiful, the little luxury area that they live on is amazing, but as the film goes on, things start to take a bit of a turn for the worse, as things start to become more apparent about how awkward and mysterious this couple really is. If I had one word to describe this film, it would be frustrating. The main characters here that are invited by this other couple make every single dumb cliche that you see in every horror movie you've ever seen. Like the, oh, no, don't go in the closet, or start the car, go to the car, why aren't you escaping now? Any cliche like that you can think of happens in this movie, to the point where I was just like, ooh, I'm not really liking this. But there's kind of a reason why all these cliches happen, and that's because of the title, Speak No Evil. You see, the reason why this couple makes all these dumb cliches is because, well, they don't want to be rude. They were invited to this nice luxury area by these people that they met, but even though these people is a bit weird and mysterious, they don't want to insult them by just, leaving or making it seem like, they're disgusted by them or they hate them. They are, pretty much acting like, walking mats. We're letting this other couple just walk all over them like, oh, we're going to be weird and mysterious and there's nothing you can do about it because we invited you here. And this other couple is just like, oh, we don't want to be rude. We were invited by these guys. These guys are kind of nice. So this film has a bit of a message about don't be a walking mat. Don't let others just walk all over you. Don't get yourself into uncomfortable positions where, you're just trying to, please others, but it's making you uncomfortable. And there's also other themes about abuse. There are a lot of people in this world that go through abuse and go through these situations like this where, you want to escape, you want to get out, but you just can't. You feel trapped, you feel stuck. So, in a way, even though there are a lot of dumb cliches in this film that these characters do, and at first I was absolutely hating these characters because I was like, how are y'all this dumb? But then it clicked for me where I was like, oh, it's the moral of the theme, it's the moral of the movie. That's what the movie's trying to convey about how there are dangers of trying to please others, even if it brings damage and harm to yourself. So that's what surprised me the most about this film, is that I was absolutely hating our main characters, because I was like, how are y'all this dumb? Just leave. You're uncomfortable, just go. But this is kind of a real situation that a lot of people go through. Maybe not exactly like the situation here in the movie where, you're invited to somebody's house, but they're acting all weird, but you want to leave, but you don't want to be rude. But there are a lot of people that go through situations like this. So it's a very unique take for this film to be like, hey, there's a reason why all these cliches are happening. I also felt frustrated by the story is because every single scene seems pretty much the exact same copy and paste. James McAvoy and Aisling Franciosi, they do this weird and mysterious thing, and the other couple, they're like, oh, we're uncomfortable, but we don't want to leave, we don't want to be rude. And that happens over and over and over and over again, to where it was just feeling pretty much monotonous the entire story. And this film is 2 hours, so it's pretty much 2 hours of the exact same thing over and over and over again. And the thing is, with these characters, played by Aisling Franciosi and James McAvoy, the tension and weirdness that they do never really rises to a point where it's like, oh, they're in immediate danger, oh, they really need to get out, until like the last 30 minutes of the movie. So for about an hour and a half, the tension never really increases. It's just like a flat line of tension until the last 30 minutes where it's like, okay, now here's all the tension. Here's everything that's going on. Oh, all this crazy stuff. So I felt like if the story was a bit more of an incline in all the tension, then I feel like I would have been more entertained by the story. But for the film as a whole, it's still entertaining, but I just wanted there to be a bit more tension and a bit more of a climactic rise of the things that were happening, instead of it just being like, ooh, they're acting weird and mysterious. And then in the last 30 minutes, it's like, okay, now they're acting all crazy. They're just running around like they got shotguns, they're blasting everything, they're like running all over the place and acting weird. So maybe there was just a little bit more of a craziness to James McAvoy and Aisling Franciose's character. I would have been a bit more entertained. But as a whole, I still think the story is decent, because there are some pretty unique spins and twists that happen near the middle of the point where I was like, oh shit, okay, now things are actually starting to rise up a bit. Now things are starting to get a bit crazy. Then it just goes back to being a bit more of a flatline tension until like I said, the last 30 minutes. But like I said, even though the characters do have a bit of a reason for making all these dumb cliches, they still make so many dumb choices that clearly put them in danger that aren't even like part of a cliche or them acting rude. For example, this couple, they come to this house with their daughter as well, and she has this stuffed animal rabbit, and they put themselves in so much danger for this stupid freaking rabbit. Like, they're escaping, they're driving away, when the daughter's like, oh no, my stuffed animal rabbit! And they go back and get the rabbit. They do that twice! They put themselves in danger twice for a stupid freaking rabbit. And at that point I was like, okay, this is getting silly. Like, I can understand the other stuff and why you were doing all these like cliches and everything, but this is getting ridiculous. Are you really risking your life for a stupid stuffed animal rabbit? Like, why? So I know it seems like I've been pretty mixed on this movie, and honestly I kind of am, but there's one big reason why I actually do recommend you going out to see this film, and that's James McAvoy's performance. I think this might be the best performance I have seen this year. He is immaculate in this film. He is spectacular. Every single time he's on screen, you're just enthralled by this performance. You don't see James McAvoy just acting all crazy and weird. You see this really disturbing man, this abusive father, this creepy, disturbing character. And every time he's on screen, you just can't help but just feel a bit clenched in your seat, where it's like, man, any second this character can just completely snap and just go all the way ballistic. But this character also has a very nice side to him. There are times where he acts fully normal and fun. He seems like a guy you would like want to go out and have a beer with. He just seems like a regular cool dude. And James McAvoy does an amazing job playing this pretty much two-sided character, where one time he's, nice and polite and fun to hang out with, but then on a dime he can just go all the way just ballistic and crazy. James McAvoy's back must be hurting, because he truly elevates this film to being, honestly kind of a mediocre suspenseful thriller, to being one of the most tense films I've seen this year, just anytime he's on screen. He does that damn good of a job. And if you're a fan of suspenseful thrillers, I'd say you should still go out and see this just for this performance. He does such a good job. I personally think that he should get some sort of Oscar nomination. Now, unfortunately, the Oscars never pick nominations for films like these. For example, Toni Collette never got a nomination for her job in Hereditary, and I'd say this performance here is as good as that performance by Toni Collette in Hereditary. It's that damn good of a job of a performance. Now, would I recommend you going out to see this in theaters? Only if you love going out to see movies in theaters. Like, I love going to the movies every week, so of course I was going to go see this in theaters and not wait for a streaming service. But if you don't really like going out to the theater, I'd say probably wait for streaming. But as a whole, it's still a decent film. I think there are some issues with all these cliches, and the story is not, as intense as I would guess I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a bit more, engaging and entertaining. But this performance by James McAvoy truly just elevates this to a fun, entertaining film that I can fully recommend. Which is why I will bestow upon Speak No Evil the Silver Top Hat. Yeah, I know it seems like I was harsh on this film and there are a lot of things that I really just didn't like, but this one performance just truly elevates it for me, and I thought it was pretty entertaining. So, to all my fancy viewers out there, thank you so much for watching. But if it's your first time here and you like what you've seen, be sure to subscribe for more content. And have you seen Speak No Evil? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you have a fantastic night, and as always, stay fancy.